5:45, and there are just 57 days until Halloween, and ABC's Danny New caught up with the artist who perhaps could be described as a living legacy to Peanuts creator Charles Schulz.
What is it that makes Charles Schulz's Peanuts so special? Is it the relatability of Charlie Brown or the relaxed wit of Snoopy? Well, if you ask artist Tom Everhart,
wasn't his storyline, it was his line that caught my eye.
Yes, the emotive expression of the little black lines that outline these iconic images. And Tom would know, not only was he friends with Peanuts creator Charles Schulz for decades, but
I was the only one that he had ever actually taught. In fact, after we met, he took me into his studio and we drew lines for like 6 hours.
Fast forward to today, and Tom is currently on a fine art tour displaying some of his own creations using the characters and principles he learned with Schulz. But as you heard, over the course of 20 years, Tom and his mentor worked side by side, building a close relationship as they experimented with how the slightest changes in a line could alter the whole scene. For example, if we take a look at Lucy.
There are certain lines in her hair and her dress that can make you feel sad or make you feel attentive.
Eventually, Tom would help Schulz with publications you've probably seen, like the integration of Peanuts with MetLife, covers of magazines, and even this Just Say No poster for then First Lady Nancy Reagan. In fact, the latter apparently resulted in a feud over punctuation.
He was a stickler on English, and he said it has to say, just say, quotation marks, comma, no, and then quotation marks. And Nancy Reagan was livid.
But their friendship took on new meaning when Tom was suddenly fighting for his life. In 1988, he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and he says Schulz's instruction played a major role in his fight.
I was so in love with what I was learning from him.
But it wasn't until 12 years later, when Schulz was fighting the same kind of cancer, that Tom would finally tell his hero just how much all those lines and their friendship had meant to him.
And that was the first time I'd ever told him that. That was our last conversation. I credit him for saving my life.
Danny New, ABC News.